Yeah, what up, YouTube? Happy New Year. What it do, though? How y'all doing? I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'm trying to get this Facebook Live to get going, man. Facebook Live, man, it's kind of janky. Trying to get it to, trying to get it to work with me. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we can make happen. Hopefully, we can get it to do what I want it to do. How was New Year's Eve for everybody? How was New Year's? Was it good? You guys get to the gym? You guys get out there and you know, got your New Year's resolutions got going on them? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, man, Facebook Live be tripping, man. I don't know what is up with Facebook Live. It's gonna be another edition of Royce Babble. This is episode 3. We're gonna be talking about 2023 year in review. How y'all feel about that? Huh? How y'all feel about that? I got some new drops and stuff that I want to try out. Hopefully, uh, you all will help me get that stuff in there. I got some stuff I would like to do. I got Rumble going, so I'm happy about that. I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook Live. I'm trying hard to connect to the stream on Facebook Live, but I'm not getting a whole lot of cooperation, you know. So I don't even know if I can get a backup stream, man. I tried to connect the video to the source, which I don't understand. I'm not understanding what they're saying, you know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what's happening with that. Um, we're gonna rock out anyway. I'm not gonna wait around for Facebook Live to uh, figure out what I need to figure out with Facebook Live. Let me see. Let me see something. Yeah, because it's yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't understand why it's not connecting. You know what? Let me try this. Yeah. Anyway, what y'all got going? What y'all got going? We just gonna rock out without it. You know. Hey, what up, extended clips? Happy New Year, my brother. You know, I know you came through yesterday on the stream I did yesterday, man. So, yeah, I don't, Happy New Year. Um, how was your day yesterday, man? How was your day? One of my day ones, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to do some 2023 year in review babble and talk about just some of the stuff that happened. Because actually, a whole bunch of nonsense happened all over the place in 2023. It was hilarious, man. I mean, you know, you had the Jonathan Majors incident. You had the Tia Mowry nonsense. You had Taraji P. Henson issuing threats to Oprah. You had Diddy getting exposed left and right. Man, it was a wild year, man. Whole lot of stuff, man. Whole lot of stuff happened. They charged Donald Trump with a whole bunch of they weaponized the legal system against them. Man, it was just so much stuff. You we could talk about all of the nonsense all day, man. It's you had the passport broads being revealed with all of the stuff that I have been saying for years. They have been you know, they now there's like video. You had the Mocha Fest video where, uh the Top Game jumping off in the Mocha Fest video. It was crazy, man. 2023 was the year of exposure. I think 2023 is more or less the beginning of the era of being exposed. Yeah, man. So that's uh that's how I look at it, man. I don't know if you all see it different, but uh a lot of stuff was being exposed and revealed and uncovered in 2023. So much to the point where a lot of stuff got ignored, man. You had the Tesla bot stabbing up one of the engineers. You could go on and on about what was exposed. You We saw how certain policies, Black Americans in so-called sanctuary cities, certain policies they voted for, didn't vote against. We saw it kick them in the ass. You know, we saw we saw the hood get flooded with people that weren't originally there. We so yeah, we saw a gentrification of a different kind. So yeah, man, it was wild. It was off the chain. Uh, 2023, man. Was it early this year when no, that was last year. That was last year. So never mind, man. You know, never mind, man. But yeah, man, a lot happened, and I think so much happened that it's going to serve as a springboard to go into 2024. Um, and I think, especially with this being a presidential election year, it's going to be off the chain and not necessarily in a good way all the time. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be buck wild. Hey, as y'all come in, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe for me. If you feel it's in your heart, donate to the Cash App. I would appreciate it. You don't have to, but everything is appreciated. And if you got something you want me to discuss and give my opinion on, put it in the chat. And donate $1 or so into the Cash App if you want me to talk about something. Um, you know, Slide some change. Other than that, I'm gonna talk about the stuff I want to talk about. And yeah, right, super gentrification. Just gentrification. La negra de la noche. Correa. Es la migra. Yeah, man. They all in the hood now, man. Woo. I don't know what it looked like in Oakland, man, but they all in Chicago, man. And quiet is kept. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Jacksonville, Florida is not a sanctuary city, but Jacksonville, Florida, has a population of Hondurans, and because I know my people, and it's getting bigger. I don't know if they're immigrating the right way, but you're starting to see more of them in Jacksonville. So I thought that was a interesting point of view. You know, yeah, man. Yeah, so you know, and I'm pretty sure um, there are other places that are seeing an increase in the Latino version of the immigrant population. Also in Florida, what's happening is you really have a population shift with your Cubans and stuff. They traditionally South Florida was a haven for them, but because now within the last 3 years, South Florida has become so expensive, a lot of them moved to the northeast areas of Florida, so like Jacksonville and places like that, Palatka and stuff. You're starting to see a lot more Cubans in those areas, and it's interesting to see the population shift here in Florida. Uh, the 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 Puerto Rican population in Florida, uh, you saw a lot of them come from places like New York and Chicago. They went down to Orlando, and so now they're spreading out from Orlando to places like Kissimmee, places like Apopka, Tampa, different stuff like that. I That's what I see personally. Um, so you got that going. And I would say, like a city like Jacksonville, Jacksonville is really on the come up, man. They're building a lot over in Jacksonville. It's a lot of moving and shaking there. So I would say you give Jacksonville 5 years, um, it's it's going to rival like a Tampa or maybe even Orlando. You know, uh, the problem with Florida though, um, the salaries in Florida, the hourly wages in Florida are very low, and they definitely didn't keep pace with the rapid increase in expenses. They didn't keep up with inflation um, over the last 3 years, and so uh, you you have a lot of people that are native to Florida that are really upset with what's going on in Florida. And, unfortunately, and this is my issue with DeSantis, is that DeSantis is not really, his administration is not addressing that. The inflation is wild in Florida, man. It's like you had all of that influx of money coming from New York, places like New York, California. California, it's a shitload of Californians down in South Florida, man. The problem with that is that places like New York, California, Chicago, all of these people brought money from those places that came down to Florida, and they made everything expensive for Floridians. And so now Floridians are upset, and rightly so. You really can't blame them, you know? And so that's my issue with DeSantis. Is like, hey, man, something's got to give as far as that. I get it. You want to run for president, but us Florida residents voted for you to be the governor of Florida. You're the president of Florida. you know, let's fix Florida. You know, uh, I I like you as the governor of Florida. Yeah, you know, and we'll leave it at that. So, that's how I look at it. So, I don't know how you all feel about that, but that's how I see it. So, um, anyway, so yeah, this year, what I want to do with this channel, man, I want to grow this channel as much as I can. I want to be able to not only interact with the people. Um, I want to be able to have guests and stuff. You know, we hold panels, different stuff like that. Um, I want to make this channel very interactive, and I want to be able to have a good time. For people to come over here, occasionally jump down rabbit hole. Basically, I want to be the Blacktino version of Joe Rogan. That's what I want to be. I want to be the black Joe Rogan. I want to be chocolate Joe Rogan. And I am going to need you all's help with that, with the exception of I want to interact with my audience more because Joe Rogan don't interact with his audience more. It's about him and the guests, which is cool. um, I want to have, segments where I want to interact with you all, and then I want to have segments where I interact with the panel, and then if I have a guest, I want to interact with the guest. I want to talk about all kinds of stuff, man. I would like to talk about all kinds of stuff. Um, get this platform popping. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. Um, what I would like to do. Right now I'm in the process of trying to figure out what time slots are best so that I can get the maximum amount of people I can within these time slots, so I can bring some content in the time slots that work for most people. That being said, I know that's pretty competitive, so I got work to do, I got some work to do, man. And that's cool. I don't mind doing the work as long as I can see the growth. I'm not even worried about the I'm not worried about the money because the money will come. Um I'm worried about the growth. I would like my channel to grow and I would like to have a solid following, if you understand what I'm saying. Extended clips, you say 2024 will be a year of recession with migrant issues, unemployment, and global crisis. Always hopeful, but a bumpy ride. Man, shit, that sounds like every year. I mean, I can see it, but that sounds like every year, man. Although I gotta say, um, like 2019, like from 2017, 2019, man, I put away so much money, man. I was like, yeah, that was an awesome time, man. I was definitely feast. You have feast or famine, and for me, that was definitely feast. I was able to put away a lot of money, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, 2024, man. We'll see. We're just 2 days into it, so we'll see, man. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it could be. But we'll see. We got some stuff as a country we need to take care of. Yep. So, uh, man, hey, so they're gonna release, I guess, like 200 names from this Epstein list. I can't wait. I can't wait. Man, I can't wait. You know how crazy that's gonna be? You're gonna have people scrambling. I'm pretty sure they're scrambling already. It's gonna be something else. I cannot wait until they do that release, man. That's something I'm definitely gonna be looking out for because you have a lot of people that put on certain public facades that differ from what they're doing outside of the public view. And I want to see who was doing what. I want to see who is the seat sniffers. I want to see who are the butt grabbers. I want to see who are the boy lovers. I want to see all of it. I want to see who's a freak out here uh, on the Epstein list. Man, you know, right. The Epstein Freak Fest, man. I I'm nosy. I want to see who's doing what, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I want to see it, man. I want to see it. Yes, sir, man. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. We got that looking forward to. Uh, we got Vivek Ramaswamy. Uh, he's I think he's really bidding to be Trump's vice president, honestly. And that's if Trump is able to actually stay on the ballots at all. It'll be interesting to see. Uh, you know, he's he's facing a battle uh, um, with the legal system, and what they're basically trying to do. They're trying to bankrupt him. That's all that is, because a lot of that stuff ain't gonna stick. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get him to spend as much money as possible, and that's just a warfare tactic. If you understand anything about warfare, the object is you want to deplete the enemy's resources as much as possible, and that's what they're trying to do to Trump. That's all it is. And they have, hold on, let me close the door to my office. They have they that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get Trump to spend as much money as possible and deplete his resources. So yeah, man. What up, Cool Kamasi? Happy New Year, my brother. What up, Primo? How you feeling, man? Yeah, we in here today, bro. We're just talking about 2023 year in review, and seeing just babbling basically. I'm running my mouth, man, speculating on what's gonna happen this year and stuff. Extended clip says 2024 will be a year of recession and migrant issues, unemployment and global crisis. He says it's gonna be a bumpy ride. And I agree. I agree. It's gonna be a doozy. Hopefully it's something that we can bounce back from as a country. But right now, it's looking funky, man. It's looking funky. You're gonna see a whole lot of people being frustrated. Y'all gonna see a whole lot of this, man.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children.
Yes, sir. That's it. You're gonna see a whole lot of that bullshit, man. You're gonna see it all over the place. I'm telling you. You're gonna see a whole lot of airbags popping, man. You're gonna see a whole lot of it all over the place, man. I tell you, man. You know, yeah. So, um, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a wild one, man. We got you know, the flip chickens. They women are finally biological women are finally getting tired of what's going on with the Presto Changeo gang, and and they're starting to speak out. Which, hey, you know, um, I look at it like this: people like me have told women for years, hey, you being in support of some of the stuff these guys want to do is not a good idea. And yeah, well, you're phobic. They had all kind of phobia names for you. Now they're getting tired of these guys popping up in their spaces. Finally, they're getting tired. The MSG gang versus the organic gang. Oh, I like that, man. I like that. I like that. Yeah, man. They getting tired now. And they want heterosexual men to put the reins on these guys, and I'm like, no, no. We told y'all. I've been preaching against uh, this since 2009, really earlier. When I saw what the play was back in 2003, when I was on deployment, and I seen how they was using the system to get sex changes. They was using, the DOD to get sex changes. I was like, hey man, y'all got to, something ain't right. Y'all might want to slow down on that. So back since 2004, man, I was saying something's wrong. Now they're like, oh, I'm a woman and I need help. No, no, guess what? Be strong and independent and all and tough, and you got this. That's the thing they say a lot now. You've got this, girl. You've got this. Yeah, you got it now. You got it, and you gonna handle it. So it is what it is. You know, you got it. So yeah, we're gonna sit back and watch because we told you what to do. You didn't want to listen. So now it's your bag, ladies. So you got that going. You got Umar running around, man. Running around. You want to talk about uh the whole situation with Jonathan Majors and the white girl. I can't even think her name. His ex girlfriend. And him and the Keisha Brigade are going, see, that's what you get for messing with them white women. And it's like, oh, did we forget what happened to that football player from Texas? His Travis Brantley or something like that. Did we forget about that? We gonna forget about that. We gonna forget about all the insanity Jada Pinkett Smith is putting her husband through. Are we going to forget about all the insanity that Gabrielle Union did? And these are just the famous chicks, you know. So it's like it's not an issue of race. Yeah, there's stuff that comes with race, but ultimately it's a gender issue. It's a Western female mentality, and they are uh they women are able to terrorize the men that they're in relationships with. They are emotional terrorists. You know, Kukumashi, you say Umar's ban of pro blackness is slowly going away. Yeah, yeah. I think in a lot of ways it is, especially because Keisha and Tamika keep revealing themselves to want to get with white guys, and so you know, think about that. The pro black R&B singers, these guys, the black woman is God. These guys are slowly waking up to the fact that Keisha and Tamika want what they want. And the thing is you're not going to convince them of otherwise. They want to be able to get Chad, and they want Tyrone to be waiting when if stuff go bad with Chad. The thing is they want to be able to bounce between different types of men at their choosing. And you know I'm of the mind frame. I don't care what you do as an adult, as long as you're doing stuff with considered adults. I don't care what you do. Just understand that there are consequences and trade offs. you know, be prepared to deal with the consequences and trade offs and manage stuff accordingly. And that's my thing. But a lot of the pro blickies, uh, a lot of pro blickies on the male side, they're slowly waking up to the fact that the women are gonna do what they want to do. So it is what it is, man. Um, so but you had that situation. Um, what other situations did we have? You had the chick that got locked up in Dubai for screaming, you know, coming at the man, uh, you know, at one of those males over there. I think what the women are learning is that, and they're learning hard lessons, that the stuff that you are able to get away with in the U.S., they ain't going outside of the U.S. and uh, westernized European countries. Outside of them places, they're not going for it. They're not going for it in the Arab countries, the Asian countries. I have been telling women for years, Asians whoop ass. That's what they do. You cross the line. They don't look at gender. They whoop ass. If they from over from an Asian country, be they Arab, be they Indian, be they Chinese or Japanese or whatever, they whoop ass. If you get out of line as a woman, if they have not been in the U.S. long, they whoop ass over here. And definitely, if you go to their countries and you get out of line, they're gonna whoop ass. And I think um, Black American women in particular have gotten so comfortable doing and saying whatever they want that they think they can go across the world. They are really the white men of Black people. They think they can do and say whatever it is they want to do and say outside of the U.S. and they're catching hands and they catching cases. They catching hands and catching cases. So so it's like, yeah, they're learning hard lessons. They're trying to do the passport sis thing, and they're learning that these guys from other countries, they're trying to green card pimp. They're trying to green card pimp, and the thing is that um, it's a lot harder for a woman to green card pimp than a man. And that green card pimping is different than passport bro. And it's really different than passport broading. Because ultimately, and really with passport broads is, ideally they don't bring the man back. They'll have a man over in another country, and they go over there and visit him, and under the auspice, and you know getting in touch with themselves, and all of that woman speak. you know when it's really, they're going over there to get that hammer, get that organic hammer and some organic coconut juice. But that's different than green card pimping, and green card pimping is basically trying to bring somebody back over to the states, which real passport bros don't do. You have green card pimps that are males, that do the mail order brides, or they meet some woman in another country and they try to bring her back to the U.S. only to discover that the environment in the U.S. is pervasive to female fuckery, and they wind up, having the problems that they have. But what getting back to what the passport broads, um, they've been exposed, and they're finding out that they can't move like passport bros, and they're learning that the hard way, that they don't have it that bad in the U.S. For right now, it'll probably change, especially uh, you know what's coming up politically and economically and different stuff like that. There's a lot of factors is that's going to push that to change, but right now they have it easy, and really the whole issue with their objections to the passport bros is really this.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children.
That's what it is, bottom line. Because if the men that are leaving are men you say that you are not attracted to and they're dusty and they're bummy, the only reason you're pissed off that these guys are leaving is that um they're taking they're removing that social parachute and they're taking away money from the tax base to help, you know, Keisha and Tamika live their lives. So that's all that is. Now, let's talk about uh let's talk about your what what a lot of guys in this space call the chameleons or the narwhals, the not all women are like that and stuff, because I think that's an interesting conversation, especially for this year, because we seen a lot of them platforms blow up, like just like J P what is it, JPT, we're gonna call it JPT. um you know uh you know you got Melanie Monaco's, you got Kendra, what's it, Kendra G. They, you know, uh after Kevin died, I'm not gonna say just pearly things with because she was kind of introduced to the YouTube space more or less, like indirectly by Kevin. But like those other ones, they didn't like Kevin's message or his delivery, only to turn around and steal his style. You know what I'm saying? They turned around, they stole his style, and I think one of the reasons was because they actually had to sit here on lives and talk to these crazy delusional ass women. you know, I had to talk to them, night after night, and was like, man, these bras are crazy. What in the world are these bras talking about? So I think a lot of that happened, man. And it's like, so they said the easiest way to approach this is how Kevin Samuels did, and they subsequently stole more and more of his style. So that's what you had happen with that, and then you of course you had your guys, you had your who was that little funny looking African that would be wearing the real tight suits that he wanted to be the anti Kevin Samuels, but he was funny. Was it Hafiz? Yeah, yeah. Hafiz looking like one of them South African soldiers and be having AK-47s and tuxedo shoes. But you had him. Really, even though he was trying to be the anti Kevin Samuels, it was still based. He was going. His motivations were based on going against what Kevin Samuels said, and so really, even Kevin Samuels had an influence on guys like him. Then you had a lot of um, you had a lot of Kevin Samuel influence on the space. So you know, you uh, they're all really Kevin Samuels babies. you know, they're all his sons and daughters. When you really look at it, man. Rest in peace to Kev, man. So I don't know if you all know. Me and Kev actually we were in the Coliseum together, and we actually talked and stuff on his show and offline, we were supposed to do some stuff together. That never came about. It is what it is. But man, you know, you got that stuff going. You got the we had the Tia Mowry situation going on for the for two previous years. I guess it was 2022 and 2023, where she graduated from a marriage, and then she was out here, got herself divorced um, from a decent guy. And now I don't know if you guys know, him and his family are from Fort Heights, Illinois. That was one of the areas I used to work. I know his relatives. I didn't meet him per se, but I know his relatives, and they're decent people. They're decent people, especially coming from where they come from. So Corey Hardrick, he comes from a decent family. He seemed like he was a decent guy. According to her, there was no infidelity. So she basically trash canned a decent guy because she was bored and she wasn't getting what she wanted financially. You know, uh, a few things to that. Number one, modern women. Women nowadays, they want to play this game to where they want to be traditional when they want to, and they want to be modern women when they want to, and they want to be able to pick and choose, and they want the men to adjust. My thing is no, bitch, pick a struggle. You either gonna be modern or you're gonna be traditional. You playing back and forth in that stuff, no. Since you want to be a modern woman, the minute you say you want to be a modern woman, guess what? You got to buy in. You got to pay your way. You got to pay like you weigh. And this is the energy I think more men need to hold with modern women. The minute they want to be modern, you got to pay like you weigh. So, the whole you got a movement for 50-50. You got a movement against 50-50, to the pro 50-50 people. If she's a traditional woman, to the pro 50-50 people, if she's traditional, then you should pay everything. The minute she start talking about, modern woman topics, uh, no, you got to pay your way. In fact, every dime she gets, it should go to the house first. You want to be in this relationship. You want to be partners. Guess what? You're gonna pay the partner fee. Hit her with the partner tax. She got to pay the partner tax. Don't you don't want to be partners? You can pay 100% somewhere else. You know, uh, traditional woman. If a woman wants to be traditional, stay home, raise kids, take care of the house, cool. Make her get rid of her social media accounts. All of that modern outside influences, it's got to go. You know, you no, you can't tolerate it, because then they're gonna want to play that game the way they're dipping their toes in and out of playing it, blurring the lines between modern and tradition, and that ultimately is going to cause a lot of problems and stuff like that, and what's going to happen with that. um this is the energy she's
I
gonna
don't
have.
want peace. I want problems always.
Yes, sir. That's the energy she's gonna come with, man. That's the energy she's gonna come with. She's gonna get the fuck on your nerves. She's gonna get the fuck on your nerves, man. So, and you don't want that. So, thing is, with you guys, you need to uh, be able to adapt to the times, and you can't. You have to be. Uh, you have to learn how to uh, be able to tax bad behavior with women or undesired behavior. And and be able to do it in a way that where they can't just simply go, it's abuse, because almost everything is abuse to them nowadays. You know, if you restrict their spending, that's financial abuse. If you ain't telling them every 15 minutes, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, that's emotional abuse. Or you tell them, hey, shut up talking sometime. That's emotional abuse. You know, there's just all kinds of nonsense nowadays. And so it's like you have to be um you have to be creative with consequences, and you have to be you know, you have to be savvy. You have to be savvy with you know, the consequences, but they definitely need consequences for undesired behavior. They have no problem with imposing consequences on men for undesirable behavior. And one of the ways that they do so is they will withhold or ration sexual activity or affection. You know, and it's no problem when they do it, and it is uh in fact, they have been taught for the last 100 years in media how to do it through magazines like Cosmopolitan and stuff, you know, and they have it down to an art form, and men are just now getting to where they can understand how to what to look for and how to move uh, and not wind up, you know, in jail looking so much like the heel, you know. So, but they've had 100-year head start that I know of in media from the Cosmopolitan magazine and things like this. You know, I think with men too, male stoicism was has been weaponized against men. So you know, you're not a man if you complain about what women do. You know, that's them weaponizing stoicism against you. And you got other men that'll go for it, you know, which is why I don't like trad cons. You know, my issue with trad cons is that these bitches are the way they are because you all helped them and you want to bring them back to that. You want to protect women that haven't earned it. You want to uh, pedestalize women who have done nothing to earn that. They just exist, and so they'll tell you, you know, I'm me. You should treat me like A, B, C, and D because I'm me. And it's like, bitch, really? You not gonna earn nothing. I'm just gonna give you all of this because you exist. And you know, and that's my issue with trad cons. It's like, no, you guys got to stop that shit. You know that whole thing with the prenatal child support legislation in Florida, where a woman does not have to have the baby. She can just be pregnant and receive child support from whoever she attributes or whoever she assigns to being the father. That's crazy, man. And it's like that's all when you got guys running around talking about, well, I'm a conservative. I'm like, oh, so you believe in stupid legislation too, you know? And it's on both sides. It's Democrats and liberals. Well, it's liberals and conservatives. They all believe in allowing women to get away with stupid shit. And my thing is, because I'm an egalitarian, my thing is, okay, you can do whatever you want to do as long as it's within the law. But guess what? You're going to deal with the consequences of it. Just like you take the praise, you're going to take the punishment. And I think you all, as men, I think it would be useful for you all to be that way as well, because we're not going to turn back the clocks. The 40s are never coming back. That with how the economy is going, you're going to need two or more incomes in the house to get things done. And if you're smart, you're not really going to have a woman just dilly dallying all day doing whatever she wants to do, because that's how Eve got in trouble in the Bible. Now the whole Bible being the divine book of God, I'm not on that tip. But I do think some very useful stories and very useful knowledge is in the Bible. Some stuff that, you know, we're taught a lot about human nature in the Bible. There's a lot of stories about, how far back um, human fuckery has gone. And I think the Bible is very useful for telling those stories. And so, and giving counsel for, to watch out for different things and don't let them allow or don't allow certain things like that. So yeah, I think the Bible is awesome for that. It is a great book for that. So um, yeah, you got that. Um, we got, let's talk about this Tiffany Henyard, uh chick out there in Dalton, Illinois, Chicago, was stealing all the city money and running around like she Nino Brown and stuff. you know, and that's just one story of many of women stealing. And the Bible tells you women steal. Eve stole from God. In the Bible, Eve stole from God in the book of Genesis. When she ate from the tree that she was told not to eat from, is that not stealing? Is that not stealing? It's stealing. So you got that, man. You got that. The first woman stole, allegedly. The first woman in the Bible stole. There's a history of actually another woman being there before Eve, but I don't know if y'all ready for that conversation. But yeah, Eve stole. Eve stole from God. She was told not to touch the one tree. She disobeyed and stole fruit from the tree. So and I've always been the type to, I understand that women steal. That's what they do. They steal. Every time all these women getting in trouble for PPP fraud, scamming, all of these, help you build a business, scams, all of this stuff. It's a whole bunch of women that's getting in trouble for it. And the new crime bill that they're going to come up with is really going to address all of that fraud. Trust me, it's really going to address all of that stealing. Yeah, extended clips, they ain't ready for that conversation. They ain't ready for that conversation right there, bro. I don't think they're ready for it. You ready for it because you know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't think they're ready for it, boy, bro. But yeah, man. I know with white Christian conservatives, extended clips, they don't they're quick to tell you, oh, Lilith doesn't exist. She doesn't exist. That's not right. Because they'll believe um whatever their pastors tell them, and which is why they're having the problems that they have, you know. They don't understand, that there's a certain amount of wisdom in the story of Lilith. They don't understand that Lilith thing is hid for a reason. But anyway, getting back to women stealing. Um, when I worked in police work, a lot of the cases that um, you would come into contact with the public and among female police officers was women stealing something, so that's what they do. They that's their crime of choice is stealing. Men's crime of choice is violence. you know so I mean, it is what it is, but you know, that's, I'll say for a minute, I've been saying for a minute, women still, it is what it is, you know. Um, yeah, man. So, you had that. You're gonna see a lot of arrests with that, and the latest crime bill is going to address that. Um, you're going to see a lot of the money given to a lot of these black female led causes. A lot of that money is going to dry up because they're into it with the with the Yarmulke Mafia. They're into it with the Menorah Mafia. And so, and the Menorah Mafia has funded a lot of black female movements, and they've had a lot of influence with lot of black female movements, black American female movements, and um, now they're at odds because a lot of the black females have not sided with them against uh, the situation with the plows, the PLO, the plows. So we're gonna leave it like that. We're gonna leave it at that. The hamsters. We'll call them the hamsters. But um, because they're at odds, and you know, and to quote what Michael Rappaport said, they have a list and they're checking it twice to find out who's been naughty or nice, or in other words, who has supported their cause and who's has been against their cause. And Michael Rappaport was saying that there's going to be a price paid. Guess what? You're gonna see a lot of that money and support drying up. You're gonna see a lot of females not get certain jobs. You're gonna see a lot of them getting fired and pushed out of certain positions, like what they're trying to do with Claudine Gay over there at Harvard, which I did a video about. You're gonna see the consequences of what's going on with that situation. You're gonna see repercussions of that, and I think it's going to become very noticeable in late 2024, the closer we get to the national election for president. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think also you're going to see more jailings of American women. Period. You're going to see a lot more of them going to jail. Um, so that'll be interesting. I think it may taper off closer to the election, but you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see a lot of women going to jail. So it is what it is. What else are you gonna see? We're gonna see more stuff with the AI stuff, and I know I talked about that yesterday on the AI video. I've talked about this a few times. Um, you're gonna see a lot more integration of artificial intelligence into American society this year, I think. And that's going to push a lot more people out of jobs. Like that whole thing with the UAW and the strikes that they had in Michigan and stuff like that. Um, in order to remedy that, I think you're going to see even more AI automation in a lot of these, car manufacturers and stuff coming this year, and it's going to push a lot of the human workers out of jobs. You're going to see a lot of that. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing a lot of AI being used on used with the farming and different stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to see a lot of people being pushed out of jobs, and you're going to see a push, a call for remedy in the form of universal basic income. The idea of it has been around for quite some time. I remember hearing about universal basic income way back in 2008. This is when I first heard about the idea of it. And over the years you hear people, like your Andrew Yangs talking about it. You would hear it would come up in conversations for a little while, it would gain a little momentum, and then it would subside and go away. Well, with what is happening with automation, it's going to become a big conversation, especially with um, the reparations conversation. It's You're going to see a lot more people talking about it uh, Yeah, man, you're gonna see a lot more people talking about universal basic income. You know, I would venture to say that even the talk of the Jubilee, a national or worldwide Jubilee, which is basically the forgiving of all debts. Um, I think that conversation is going to come back up. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I'm not seeing a whole lot that would directly point to Jubilee talk coming up, but uh, I do think with universal basic income coming back into the picture, I think the Jubilee talk is going to come back into the picture as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, because definitely, they tend to go hand in hand. So and what's going on with AI? But AI is going to be taking over a lot of jobs and really, um, a lot of functions in a lot of mundane functions. I think you know you're going to have a whole lot more focus on uh, UBI and debt forgiveness and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what if Biden even runs at all, what he's going to run on. He'll probably try to run on something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. Not saying that I have any inside information, or what I'm saying is um, coming from a place of knowing it all, but I wouldn't be surprised with with people wanting student loan forgiveness and different stuff like this, and what's happening with AI, that he'll probably run on some you know universal basic income implementation and Jubilee debt forgiveness. So they flirted extended clips. You said they flirted with Jubilee with Biden forgiving college debt. Jubilee used to be a normal occurrence yearly back in the day in the Roman area. Exactly. Actually, the idea of Jubilee is a Christian, a Judeo-Christian concept, and this was the idea of all debts, remaining debts being forgiven after it was like a 7 year period, I want to say. So that is the idea of Jubilee. And you had, I want to say back maybe 2011, you had the Pope during that time, the Catholic Pope during that time, espousing uh, worldwide Jubilee. Uh, Nobody's going for it. Definitely not the richest families on the planet. They weren't going for it. But there was Jubilee talk around 2010, 2011, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, extended clips. He knows what it is, man. He definitely knows what I'm talking about. You know. So yeah, man. Uh, you know, you have that idea, running around. Uh, so it'll be interesting to see, man, what happens. Uh, you have, um, I believe I talked about the stuff with CRISPR and all of that stuff. I believe I talked about that yesterday with the gene editing. You're gonna have, you know, you know, yeah, Japan had a similar concept. Yeah, yeah. Uh, so it's gonna be interesting, man. I think everything technology wise is going to accelerate like crazy, and it'll be interesting to see just how far it goes, man. You know, the whole thing with stuff like Facebook Meta and stuff, which I really don't know a whole lot about, but I think a lot of that stuff is going to expand. It's going to be it's going to be a roller coaster. I think 2024 is definitely going to be a roller coaster, man. Uh, you have the whole thing with these AI performances, all kind of crazy stuff, man. you know, it's going to be interesting. You know, uh, So yeah, man. Yeah. You know, what else uh is I think is going to have an impact is I think the increase of technology as far as batteries and battery power. I think that's going to be a big thing um, in 2024 uh, because they want to push a lot of these things with the electric cars and the electric vehicles and stuff. I think that's going to be a big push. I wonder if they have anything like electric planes where, the plane runs on, the aircraft runs on, battery power rather than, fossil fuel. I don't know if they have anything like that. If you guys know of anything like that, do me a favor, drop a link in the chat and I'll check it out. But yeah, it'll be interesting, man. You know. So let's talk about Kanye apologizing for allegedly apologizing for lying about being a billionaire. I saw this and I was like, what? Kanye lied about being a billionaire? Well, Puffy lied about being an owner of Ciroc, and so know, uh, man, allegedly Kanye lied about being a billionaire, man, and it's like, you find out some dude do that and you believe them all this time. I know some of y'all can be like, this dude is lying. Yeah, man. I'm shamelessly trying to work in all my little drops. you know, you say Japan, you say they do have uh battery powered aircraft. Hydrogen powered research is becoming more popular. Okay, so yeah, I gotta look into that, man. I gotta look into that, and I'll do a show on it, man. Learn some of what I can learn, and I'll do a show on it. You say Kanye all over the place. Yeah, man, he is. He says a lot of stuff, man, that it seems crazier than it actually is. And I think for the stuff that is actually on his mind, he says a lot of stuff I agree with. I think he's just the wrong person to say it. We're gonna leave it like that with Kanye. He says a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I understand what you're talking about, but he is like not the person to say it, or he is too far ahead of his time with certain stuff that he says. And I'm like, okay, you're talking over people's head. You're not. They don't have enough context to understand what it is you're saying. And of course, nobody will ever have all the context to certain things, certain insights, that may be dropped on the public. But at there's such thing of right message, wrong messenger, and I think that's the issue with Kanye. You know, so yeah, man. Um, but yeah, he allegedly, I guess they're saying that he lied about being a billionaire. Uh, I, I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know. You know, so um, like I said, Puffy lied about being uh, an owner of Ciroc. And that broke a lot of a lot of the black wealth crowd. That broke their heart. But for me, I wasn't surprised because most of the people that come up with stuff like that are scammers. They exaggerate, their accomplishments and their wealth and different things like that. So I wasn't really surprised. I wasn't even disappointed. I was like, okay, you know. But I think you're going to see more stuff like that, and I think too you're gonna have a lot of people fainting uh, to have less than they actually do. I think it works both ways, and so we're going to see different stuff like that. You know, people hiding money because they're being sued in court. Or people capping like they have way more money than they do have. You know, you're going to see a lot of that, and especially coming this year, you're going to have a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I think you're gonna see other you're gonna see the cancel mob and stuff. They're gonna come after more people because that's what they do. You know, you say pump faking and false starts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Extended clips. Yeah, I agree. Pump faking and false starts. False flagging. you know, fronting. That was some of the terms we used to use back in the day. Fronting. Now I believe that one's still around. False flagging, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, man. Uh, but I think the cancel mob will be going after people, but I think it's going to be more politically motivated this time. Well, now I take that back. It's going to be politically motivated more than it has been financially motivated. I think a lot of the targets of the cancel mob and the sue mafia has been financial stuff. They uh, people trying to get that financial parachute, and it's primarily women that's doing all of this suing and accusing and suing and crying on TV. I was abused. I was abused. You know, I think they're going to continue and increase their tactics of using the courts to enforce certain things, but I think it's going to be more political. We're already seeing it with the Donald Trump situation. He's not the only one they're going to be going after, and for political reasons. So that's what I'm seeing this uh, this coming year, particularly. So let's see what happens, man. You what else? What else can I? My predictions or my opinions on what's going to happen uh, this year. Um, I think the there's going to be a major catastrophic event that's going to happen this year in the United States. How catastrophic, I don't know, but um, something is going to happen, and it's because we're letting too many people in the country that we don't know who they are, where they're from, and why they're coming here. And this is because of the border issue. I think something. I I think we're going to definitely let in some ne'er do wells, and it's not going to be good. Something we're going to pay a price for that for not managing our borders better. I hate to say that, but I think something like that is going to happen, and I think um, possibly either right before or right after the election, there is going to be a some kind of cyber attack, man. I think that movie that away from here or whatever that was the Obama movie. I think that's kind of more or less we're being told that some kind of crazy cyber attack is going to happen, and I think it's going to happen either right before the election or right after. You know, especially depending on who becomes the next president of the United States. So, you know, I think that's going to happen. I think a new group, uh, because your anonymouses is, well, the no names. We'll call them the no names, and the the anti conservatives, the aunties. We're gonna call them the aunties and the no names. I Because that trick has already been done. I think that's why I think the terrorism attack is going to be somebody we have let into the country because we didn't manage our borders uh, well enough. Um, because those other groups, I think people are on to them. Definitely they're on to them, and it's not smart to keep doing the same thing with the same way over and over. So you know, I think we're going to see some different faces, that they can point to. It was them over there. So we're going to see that, and there's going to be a catastrophic event. I don't know how big. I don't know how the I don't know the amount of damage that's going to be done, but we're going to see something, and I for the reasons I mentioned earlier. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But from what I'm seeing, you know, stuff is coming together that I don't like. You know, so we'll see. Um, I think we're going to learn more about the deletions of Tupac and Biggie, because they're more or less they're still technically unsolved murders, but because um, there are certain people who are being pursued by both media um, media outlets and by the authorities. I think we're going to get some more insight into what happened with those two murders, and then plus it's a distraction from what's going on in Washington. And so it'll distract people who are of the voting age, which is Gen X. And you got to remember, Biggie and Tupac were of the Gen X era. So, in order to distract Gen X voters, you're going to have that. You're going to have, so and so has been arrested for the murder of such and such. It's going to happen, and it's going to be, uh, you know, a famous person, so and so had a role in the murder of such and such, and they're going to be going to jail. You're going to have that. I think we haven't heard the last of the R. Kelly situation. I don't think we've heard the last of it, and don't be surprised if they have to let R. Kelly out of prison. you know, don't be surprised if R. Kelly get out of prison. I'm not guaranteeing that, but understanding what I understand about the racketeering law and stuff, and how he was convicted, you can't have a conspiracy with just one person. So either more people are going to go to jail with him, which I think is highly unlikely, or they're going to have to mess around and let that dude out. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened this year. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Or at least he's going to give back some of that time, And I'm not saying, I support, I am for against R. Kelly. I'm neutral. It is what it is, But I do think some things went on with his case that didn't look. I'm like, man, you know, that don't look good. So, yeah, you know. Um, So I think you're gonna have that stuff happen. Um, and we'll see. We'll see. Um, I think as far as I think too. Hmm. Let me not lean back too far because I don't want to get to where y'all can't see me leaning out it. I need one. I need to give me a chair with a stiffer back where it doesn't. This one goes back too far. I want to lean back a little bit. This motherfucker be laid out like like I'm about to get a massage or something, like one of the massage chairs. And that's just like too much, you know. Then I got my gaming chair, which that doesn't come up high enough. I got to get a good chair, but I don't, man. I don't want to pay uh, all of the money. Them chairs are expensive nowadays, man. Oh my god. Especially these gaming chairs, like 300 something bucks. It's crazy, man. But you know, you know, um, but that's what I see happening. That's some of the things I see happening coming into the new year, coming into 2024 from things that happened in 2023. Um, so that'll be interesting. I remember back in 2023, they there was a story being pushed about this woman that had she was in a poly she was in a polyandry situation where she had like a husband, and she basically had three husbands, and she was all, hugged up with him, taking pictures and stuff. I think you're going to see women pushing for stuff like that, and of course, you know who it's gonna be. We don't have to mention. We know who it's gonna be. So, because it was already them, already, taking pictures with three guys, and when he's all my husbands, I've always been of the position that the poly lifestyle is the black community has always been about it. They de facto practice it anyway. So I think you're gonna see a big push in that, especially because they can't, you know nobody in Black America can seem to be married the traditional nuclear way. So I think they're gonna experiment. I think they're gonna come to the forefront with other alternatives. You already got a lot of same sexuals getting married in the black community, same sexual females, and they whooping each other's ass and divorcing each other even more than they divorcing the guys. You say you sell furniture as well, extended clips. Hey, listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you, appliance repair and furniture. What do they call it? Furniture refinishing, furniture repair. It's a good hustle. I'm telling you, it's a good hustle, man. I think you're going to start seeing this year coming up. You're going to start seeing a lot of new hustles, like with stuff like that, repurposing uh, old equipment and appliances and different things like that. I think you're going to start seeing stuff like that. But that is a good side gig. That's a good hustle, man. That is a good side business. Really, it's a good main business if you scale it right. So, no, Mike, you got a channel. Hey, I'm gonna give you an extended clips. Uh, I'm gonna give y'all wrenches. Let me see how to do that. Let me see. I'm gonna make you a mod. Make um Put your channel in the chat, man. Put your channel in the chat, extended clips. Let me mod you as well. If you got a channel, put it in a channel website or something. Put it in chat. So you guys are mods now. So you know, yeah, man. So who else is here? Yeah, cool. All right, I mod you up too, man. You know, so yeah, man. Um, but I think you're gonna see even more stuff like that, man. Um, so hey, Mike Reed, put your channel in the chat, man. Spam the chat with your channel. So you sell new on your website? Okay. All right, cool, cool. Hey, check out Mike Reed's channel. So, you know, y'all slide on over there, you know. So yeah, man. But I think you're gonna start seeing stuff like that. I mean, uh, you always have the guys that cut hair. Uh yeah, refurbishing, that's what it is. Refurbishing and repurposing. Yeah, man. It's you got certain markets that, you could man, you can flip that stuff, man. On all of the websites, you can flip that stuff, man. So, yeah. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem, you know. You're going to start seeing more stuff like that. You're going to start seeing I think you're going to start seeing people do more guys getting more in the trades and stuff to make side money and stuff like that, which it's really a smart thing to do, man. And like I say, you know this and this thank you. Yeah, thank you for subscribing to Extended Clips. I mean, to Mike Reed Extended Clips. We appreciate that, bro. You know, and but you're going to start seeing that. You're going to start seeing more bartering because, especially with what they want to do with the digital currency, if they come up with a uh, national digital currency, bartering is going to be one of the ways around that. So expect to see more bartering, and um you see it a lot with white people, white Americans, they have their pockets of their bartering communities. I think you're going to start seeing that more among Black Americans, especially among heterosexual, free thinking men. You're going to start seeing a lot of bartering, different things like that. Skill trading and stuff. So that'll be interesting to see, man. And I think that's going to become more prevalent this coming year. Um, I think as far as like Rumble, um, I think with Rumble you're going to start seeing a lot more uh, people um, doing stuff on Rumble. Um, I think I think how Rumble is set up is going to change. I think you're going to see a lot more content being created for Twitter, stuff like that. Um, you know, so we're gonna see increases in that stuff. And I think because you're going to see certain voices that weren't popular before, I think you're going to see a lot more censorship laundering. Censorship laundering. That's what I want to talk about. Not laundering, censorship laundering. Like money laundering, you're going to see censorship laundering. You're going to see uh, censorship on different social media sites being sold to quiet certain voices for certain agendas. You, it's a real term. Censorship laundering is a real term, and this was actually something that was addressed uh, by a politician um, not too not too long ago in front of Congress. In fact, let me see if I could find the I believe I do have a video for it. Let me look and see if I can this uh find this video, you know. Something that was addressed. Hold on. Let me see if I could find this video, man. Pull it up so you guys can see it. This is definitely okay. I didn't want to do that. Um, let me see if I could find. Let me see if I can pull this up, man. Yeah, this might be it right here. This guy was talking about this politician was talking about censorship laundering. See if I can play it. I can't hear it, so let me
is to understand the scope and
here it is.
scale
Can
of the
y'all hear
Department
that?
of Homeland Security's and CISA's counter, mis, dis, and malinformation efforts, and why government censorship continues to present
Fair
a threat
fair
to the
use.
free discourse essential to a constitutional republic. I now recognize myself for an opening statement. Good afternoon, and welcome to this hearing of the subcommittee titled Censorship Laundering Part 2, Preventing the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Silencing of Dissent. In May, this subcommittee held our first hearing to examine the Department of
Can
Homeland
y'all hear
Security's
that?
role as the nerve center for the federal government's scheme to
Okay.
censor the online voices
Yeah.
of millions of Americans. What we learned during that hearing was deeply concerning. As Americans,
See, this is what I was telling y'all about the censorship laundering. Um, we've seen this before. When an example of that is when they kicked Donald Trump off of Twitter. So we have seen this. You know, when they did that to Alex Jones. So we're not unfamiliar with what laundering is. Let's continue.
we are committed to the idea that freedom of speech and open debate are essential features of a free society. Make no mistake, the efforts to censor public discourse under the guise of so-called mis, dis, and malinformation, MDM, threaten this essential freedom and the very core of our republic. Now, through our own investigation and the incredible work of a small group of individuals dedicated to protecting Americans' fundamental rights to discourse and debate, including our witnesses today, we have a far more complete picture of the censorship laundering complex and how it operates. While we recognize the cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency's mission of protecting our institutions from legitimate cybersecurity threats, we cannot allow a component of the Department of Homeland Security to anchor a censorship laundering enterprise.
You see who they said was involved with censorship laundering. You see what department they said. You see what ABC agency they said. Now, pay attention to that, but also understand that what they didn't say is just as important. What and who they didn't say is just as important. Let's continue.
Silencing the voices of the American people is never acceptable by government, and we must return the agency to its core mission. Two major developments have been enormously helpful to our investigations into the true extent of DHS and CISA's role in government censorship efforts. First, several lawsuits, most notably Missouri versus Biden, although the Assistant Attorney General for the Division of Civil Rights doesn't know about that litigation. I hope she'll take note of it. That lawsuit has made public vital evidence uncovering the scope and scale of government efforts to censor online speech.
So you all see what you all see what this means, and I think you're going to see more of this happening this coming year, and you're going to see a lot more uh, government entities be involved in this type of censorship. So um, it's going to be definitely interesting to see, man. So you're definitely going to see that. I think too. Uh, be, let's talk about military recruiting. As you all know, I did 20 years active duty Army, combination active duty Army, Illinois Army National Guard. And when I was leaving, they were doing a lot of they were doing a lot of training, diversity training, in regards of the Presto Changeo gang. Y'all know who that is, the Presto Changeo gang. They were doing a lot of training, I guess, programming the, the the troops that were already in for the influx of, you know, the T types. And that's when I was like, yeah, it's time to go. I got to get up out of here because I'm not dealing with that nonsense. Well, it's been a couple of years since I've been retired. And, it's funny, the last couple of years, recruiting for every branch but the Marine Corps has lagged severely. I think because of that, I think one of two things is going to happen. Either they are going to subject women to selective service in the draft, or they're going to have AI military brigades and divisions. They're going to, I think either one of those are a possibility. Um, I think they're going to speed the technology up and bring it to the point to where they can weaponize the AI to fight wars, or they're going to have it to where Keisha and Emily have to sign up for selective service in the draft. And they are not going to like that at all. They are all, they're not going to like that. Drones, yeah. Yeah, Mike, drones. Yeah. Yeah. So um, I see that um, coming closer to fruition in 2024, especially because of what's going on worldwide. Wide extended clips. You say Space Force is growing rapidly. Hmm. Shoot. Space Force is the new Air Force, and you're gonna have people. You're gonna have women with dumbass kids talking about, if my son, if he joined the military, I want him to join the Space Force. He can barely read. He gonna join the army and be a cook or infantry. you know, that is what it is. He gonna be in the Marine Corps as a grunt. He gonna be in the army as a grunt, or he gonna be a cook. He gonna be in one of them as a grunt or a cook or pumping gas. you know. So yeah, the Space Force, man. You say that's growing, huh? I tell you, when they first announced the Space Force, I thought it was a joke. But then I wound up in a military school with some people that were assigned to the Space Force. I was like, oh shit, this shit is real. I was like, damn, this is real. If they are growing, well, for the Space Force, for the Space Force, man, the reason that is coming about for two things. Number one, there's a space race for mining resources that is going to have to occur. Number one. Number two, um, and this is going back to what we talked about yesterday with the close encounters. You know, um, you're going to have to have interplanetary defense, and you're going to have a space navy to defend uh, space territory from the other superpowers on the planet. So that's that's what you're going to get, and that's why Space Force, pretty much why Space Force exists, but mostly to defend space territory from the other superpowers. It is what it is, you know. Um, but yeah, um, I think we may have some more extraterrestrial contact. I put it this way: I wouldn't be surprised. I think we're going to have more news of it. I think they're going to, and that it will be strategically revealed to be a distraction for something. So I think we're going to hear more about extraterrestrials. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Hey, as you're coming in, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hit the Cash app. Do me that favor for if you are new here. You know, uh, do me a favor and announce where you're watching from as well. That would be awesome. I would like that a lot, you know. So that would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. Let me know who you are, where you coming from, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, trillions of dollars in space. Yeah, man. Yeah, and the richest families on this planet, they want to get up there. Elon Musk want to get up there. That you know, there's a lot up there to explore. Get some, get some of that money. So, yeah, I think we're going to see more, uh, interplanetary interactions, um, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm too dumb to do anything like that. I'm too dumb to be sent up into space. Um, I would be a space janitor, so they're not gonna waste their time on me. Yeah, hey, Elon is chomping at the bit, man. He's trying to be first, like a true capitalist. Capitalism works best when you're first. So Elon is definitely trying to do that. I ain't mad at him, man. I ain't mad at him. So yeah, yeah, man. So you got that going. Um, you got that going. So what else? I don't know. I think for the most part, I've run out of babble. Um, you know, for the most part right now. I'm out of babble. I thought I could babble longer, but uh you say Blue Origin, Jeff Quiet in second place. You talking about Bezos? Yeah, yeah. If you talking about Bezos, I would agree. I would agree. You know. So yeah, I'm kind of running out of babble, y'all. Y'all got something y'all want me to babble about? Throw it in the chat. Y'all want to hear me babble about something. So, you know, yeah, cuz I'm running out of babble, man. I don't want to be repeating myself and talking about the same stuff over and over, you know. Um hey, have has anybody went to see Godzilla -1? Um, I want to go see it because I'm a Godzilla fan. Yeah. Yeah, Mike Reed. The ulterior motive is mine and extended clips, man. Hey, yeah, I appreciate you for coming through, bro. You've been sliding through every time I've been doing this, man. I appreciate it. I am going to keep uh doing these lives, and I'm gonna drop more pre-records and stuff so that like I said, I want to get this channel popping and get more uh chat interaction and stuff, you know, do some more entertaining and informative stuff. But yeah, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I appreciate you guys, you and Mike Reed and Cool Kamasi being a part of it, man. I appreciate what you guys do, man. I appreciate you guys coming through, So um yeah, man, I want to go see Godzilla minus zero. Especially since I went to see Aquaman. Aquaman was straight up trash, man. Never again. I should have waited. It was a nice date night, for me and the wife. It was nice to get out the house and do something. Um, it was a nice family outing, but you know, it was man, no problem, Mike. No problem. Thank you for coming through, my brother. Thank you for letting us know, man. You still in the appliance business. That's an underrated business, man. And I think it's going to come to more prominence because people are not going to be wanting to spend all kind of crazy money on buying new appliances and stuff like that. It's one of those businesses, man. You'll always be able to make money. So yeah, Mike is and Mike, uh, he's got a business that was passed down from father to son, which you know I appreciate that, very much. So yeah, man. But yeah, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll probably jump back on later, maybe like around 3 or 4. We'll see. If I do, I'll put the uh, oh yeah, okay. All right, man. That's nice. You people how to get trained in it. Okay. Yeah, that's I'm telling you, man, that's a big deal, bro. That's a big deal, you know. Um yeah, Hey, I'm gonna get with you about it in a bit, so we can I can get a little bit more information from you. But I appreciate you, bro. Hey, I'm gonna get on out of here. I might jump back on like around maybe 3:30 or 4 o'clock and talk about something else. Um, this is Mr. Royce J of Royce Media. Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one. Holla.